What up to the podverse and everybody sleeping in the cloud? Welcome to the Blacklog, where we talk black about TV, film, music, and sometimes we just digress into conversations about things we know, or drink hot coffee, or hot tea, which is recommended by 3 out of 4 cardiologists. But today it's iced because we in summer and it's hot. The gentleman on the other side of the platform, wherever you're watching, his name is Ryan. He's my brother. He's my cohort. Fellow Purple Knight, fellow Bison. Say what's up, Ryan.
What up? What up? What up? What's happening? What's happening?
You tell me. You tell me what's going on.
Well, before we even get started, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, like, share, comment. And if you're on any of the podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, RSS, give us a 5-star rating and leave. And if you don't like what you see, leave that 5-star rating. We promise to do better. You can find a lot more clips on the IG, the TikTok, and the FB, the Book of Faces.
Don't put
and,
the in front of everything. Don't do that. The IG and the Facebook. Don't do that.
And shout out to E. Tiffany Customs Creations. Homecoming is right around the corner, about 3 months. So if you're looking for something, they can hook you up, man. Custom made. Go to etiffanycreations.com
for all your apparel needs. Hey, man. I gotta say something's on my mind. Your home state, my home state too, Louisiana. The governor, Jeff Landry, recently said New Orleans isn't that important to Louisiana as it used to be.
Okay.
I'm going to repeat. He said New Orleans is not that important to Louisiana as it used to be. Louisiana has the 47th economy in these 50 states. How much of that economy do you think is generated? I'm not taking anything away from the gas industries, any other cities. I'm just saying, how much do you think?
If you think that New Orleans is not keeping us away from 50th, you are a damn lie.
You are mistaken. You are mistaken, Mr. Landry.
So I'm going to assume that those 8 home Saints games, which bring in people, and you can find them all on Bourbon Street, all crowded up together, going through the streets thinking that they trying to conjure up the Saints fans when they don't realize that people from New Orleans do not go hang out on Bourbon Street. The only
because
Saints
6 home games in Baton Rouge.
Because the only Saints fans in the French Quarters are the people who own those bars. And I'm going to guess that the Essence Festival, the Jazz Festival, the Bayou Classic, the Po' Boy Festival, the French Quarter Festival, which I might add, I actually went to the first French Quarter Festival, and I never thought that it would get that big. But hey, when you're little and you're young, things happen.
I never thought the Jazz Festival would be.
Yeah, Jazz Festival. Not to mention that there are people. It's
an annual Sugar Bowl. You didn't say that. The annual Sugar Bowl.
Oh yeah, there are media. There are Sugar Bowl, which is a part of the college football championship. Yeah, an occasional Super Bowl every other year, and not to mention that the media there are actual media members in general who have said on air, please, they should just change New Orleans as the home of the Super Bowl every year. So literally, they want to change the Super Bowl into a professional Sugar Bowl where it is there every year. But yeah, New Orleans ain't that important.
So Governor Landry, please fix your face and fix your mouth when you say things.
Don't get mad at New Orleans because people jacking New Orleans.
You mad because they bringing you money.
People jacking New Orleans and you mad.
You mad because money coming from the city.
Man, can we please get to what we supposed to get to talk about that foolishness?
The black law, we don't only entertain here, we educate. The black law word of the day is yaw, spelled Y-A-W. It is a verb. The definition, the action of an aircraft, spacecraft that moves left or right in an uncontrolled manner. It seems that all the Imperial TIE fighters yaw back and forth in all 9 Star Wars movies.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Yeah.
Porkins.
Yeah. What was that? Vader? He had him lined up.
I got him lined up.
They come Han Solo. Oh.
We're going left this week. It came up because of Mr. Steven Spielberg, his latest movie, Disclosure Day. And I brought up the subject of one of his infamous movies that I've never seen and purposely avoided it. It is E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I remember when it came out, I was a child, and I found no interest in, because when I saw who E.T. was, it made no sense. It made no sense to me. And as the years have gone by, people have asked me, "You want to watch E.T.? You've never seen E.T.?" I was like, "No, I'm not going to watch that." As I got older, became an adult, got cable. Oh, E.T. I'm not going to watch that. It just doesn't make my daughters have seen E.T. before I have. So
I don't even remember E.T. coming on cable when I was younger.
Came out 82. I'd be shocked.
I will say this. E.T. This came up because of Disclosure Day, and we got to talking about E.T. If you've heard me talk about it before, I have publicly stated that I hate E.T. I will say, I was starting to say when I watched it again that I still don't care for it. That's why I got this shirt on. But I didn't dislike it as much as I disliked it when I was younger. But I know one reason I disliked it. That sucker was 2 hours. And I was ready to go. I wouldn't. And if you don't know the story is that I did want to see E.T. at one point in time. But then I was outside playing with my friends. And then my mom called. And she was like, "Hey, Ryan. Hey, it's time for us to go." I'm like, "Go where?" Say, "Go see E.T." I was like, I'm not really too into seeing E.T. anymore. And my mom, pretty much said, "You better get your ass in that car. All this popcorn we pop, we gonna go see some E.T. today." And that's just what we did. We went to see E.T. and I begrudgingly watched it. I'm pretty sure there were a couple of parts in there that I was like, "Oh," but other than that, when the movie was over, I was ready to go. But I will say this time around, I wasn't ready to go as much, but still didn't care for it too much.
I must say, I watched it, and it verified why I have not watched it for 40 years.
And when I watched it, I actually divided it up into 3 parts.
Okay.
There's no real rhyme or reason to the 3 parts. Yeah. E.T. lands.
It was written. We know it was directed by Steven Spielberg and is produced by Steven Spielberg. It was written by Melissa Matheson. This woman would write. Well, honestly, when you write E.T., you don't really have to write shit else in your life. I'll be honest with you.
Nah.
Her credit. She's written E.T. to Ride. She's written everything E.T. related. She has written a movie called The Black Stallion. She wrote Coon Dune.
She would write The Black Stallion.
She wrote a segment from the Twilight Zone movie that had its own problem. Yeah, she did.
Which segment?
You know what? God, I forgot what segment was. I forgot the title.
I did like Twilight Zone movie.
Kundun, a movie directed by that has more cachet because it was directed by Martin Scorsese. She was married to Harrison Ford at one point in time. So
Kundun sounds racist.
Well, it had to deal with Asians.
Really? That's hilarious. Of course, I wasn't thinking of those Kunduns.
She also wrote a movie that wasn't received too well because of the title, but it wasn't her title. I think it was based off a book called The Indian in the Cupboard. It caught a lot of hell.
I do remember that movie.
That movie caught a lot of hell.
Never saw it. Never thought about seeing it. Never wanted to see it. I couldn't tell you what the movie. Only thing that I remember is that I believe the commercial or the trailer had like a little book, and they were like little claymation figures running around.
Native Americans were upset, and
needless to say,
and they were saying, "Well, what is it gonna be next? You know, the Asian in the garage or
like
the N-word in the closet." It's just so much, bro.
That was actually man, we kind of was close to that.
What?
No.
Oh. But like I said, she has the Black Stallion and E.T. She's had a hell of a career. Unlike Close Encounters, which I viewed about a month ago for the first time, and I gotta say, I was impressed by that because I said they had a lot of stuff about government conspiracies and stuff like that. Like I can see why that movie did so well. We open on a spaceship in the woods, and there are a bunch of ETs moving around the spaceship left and right. We open with this.
That dude said a bunch of ETs.
That's all I got.
That's all it was, bro.
We got
a little weird fingers, bro. Like it started gross for me. I was like, ugh. Let me just let you all know. I know everybody, for some reason, people think that E.T. is cute. There's nothing cute about E.T.
And that's why a big thing I had about this film.
Now look, if when that spaceship landed, Steven Spielberg had a bunch of Alfs coming out.
Oh, totally different thing.
I'd have been all time.
I mean, that is my biggest problem with it because I know at that point in time, 82, I might have been past the age of Elliot, the lead, but I was kind of the age of the older kid. And if in Pontchartrain Park, we saw that,
I'd have ran home,
beat the hell out of it with a bat. I don't know. I mean,
I wouldn't even come back with a bat. I was like, hey man, I'm good.
I can imagine me walking to Pontchartrain Park for baseball practice with my glove and my bat, and this thing comes up on me. What the hell are you? I mean, dude, he looks like an uncooked chicken thigh with eyes. I mean, that's what he's uncooked. He looks like uncooked chicken. Like I said, you got a bunch of little ETs moving around, and then suddenly some humans show up. Little ETs freak out.
They jump back on the ship. Guess who doesn't? That fool. The main, obviously, I guess you had to have a movie.
I shouldn't say this up front, but after I watched, I said this was Home Alone. This is Home Alone. They left. They left their child because it seemed like he was very childlike alien. He wasn't an adult alien. He just seemed more of a childlike alien. That's all I'm saying, bro. He got left, though. It seemed like a Home Alone for aliens.
Of course, man is out there. They freak out because man. And when we say man, M-A-N, mankind is out there. Now, I will say, at first I was like, see, they all out there messing with the spaceship. But then again, I was like, understandably so. You might want to send the government out there to check on the spaceships popping up.
It could be issues, We cut to the home. Mary, played by Dee Wallace, her 13-year-olds are playing Life or Monopoly or whatever game they're playing, and these are the older kids. One of them played by
Gen X.
huh?
One of them played by who?
A young C.
Pony Boy.
Thomas Howell. Yeah, young
Pony
C.
Boy.
Yes,
Pony Boy.
a young C.
AKA Soul Man. Which I'm still trying to convince you to. We got to do the movie Soul Man. I will say this: there was a very Generation X setting with them sitting around playing cards. Now, with the exception of the mom being in there while they smoking, and
they were smoking.
There wasn't somebody. I thought a kid was smoking.
No, that was just him. I thought that was the mom. I just didn't understand the mom rolling in there with the silk robe on. At one point in time, one of the kids was playing around behind the mom's back when she was in the dishwasher, and the other kid, the son Greg said, "Hey, check yourself." I thought there'd been a big ass fight in there. It wouldn't have been nothing. I was like, bruh. But no, I thought she was the one that was smoking.
Maybe. It reminded me, obviously that wouldn't happen in our house or most of the people that we know's house. But there was the occasional Dino. You remember Dino? We had one of the only Dino lived in our neighborhood, man. He seemed to be older. I always thought that there were a bunch of teenagers who lived in that house, like everybody.
Yeah, it was never.
I don't think I've never felt like there was an adult.
It never felt like there was a parental unit. It felt like Keith Partridge ran the house.
Yeah, you know what? If anybody has ever seen the Partridge Family, it's kind of like a grimy Partridge Family kind of going on.
Yeah, man, that was a mysterious house right there. The older boy sent Elliot out to go get a pizza from the delivery guy. He hears a noise from the garage, which when I saw this one scene, I said, "Oh my God, that's that Pepsi commercial or the Coke commercial he used to have back in the day."
Oh yeah,
I was like, "Oh, that's where that was from." So he goes out there and he sees something. All we know, he sees something. He runs back to the house.
The baseball, and the baseball comes back.
Yeah, and he said there's something in the garage. He's like losing it. It's like, man. Then the guys pick knives up and start wielding knives and stuff like that. The mom said, "Don't do that." Whatever. No one's listening. They go out there. The older son finds some tracks of some kind, and he says, "Mom, I think it's some kind of coyote," and they all rush back in the house. Mind you, I have to say, ever since the fires here in California, the coyotes came out of the woods, and last week I was in the neighborhood, and man, it was a full-grown, when I say full-grown ass coyote, looking like he's about an easy 80 pounds.
I'd have been
bro, he just walked down the street.
And I'd have just been like, where is the front door? Where is the front door?
But like I said, he said it's a coyote. Late into the night.
Elliot ended up chasing. No, he ran into him in that cornfield.
He goes back. Late into the night, he goes back out in the garage because he hears more noise, and he checks the woods. And
that was like a cornfield a little more so, huh? Kind of?
Not in that neighborhood.
That's later
on. That's later on when they go in the woods. He finds it hiding, and it makes all I can say is a llama, goat-like noise, and it startles him, and he runs off. And
it looks even more gross. Like, oh, gosh. E.T. was just gross, bro. Oh, he's gross.
There's nothing that makes you want to...
There is nothing, like, the only logical way to make him cute was to make stuffed animals. Because, you can kind of, for the most part, you can make a stuffed animal look cute in any kind of way. Bruh, that thing was awful, bruh.
Uncooked chicken.
Bruh, I was looking at that movie like, man, I cannot watch this. And I cannot leave because where am I going to go? And my mama and pop this popcorn that she said we gonna eat because she didn't brought this popcorn in the theater.
Oh, you're trapped. It's a trap. Next day, Elliot takes his bike into the woods with some Reese's Pieces, which was a big thing.
That's a big thing. The Reese's Pieces.
And
I didn't start eating Reese's until I was like an adult. I never got the chocolate and peanut butter when I was younger because they kind of look like M&Ms. I'm like, nah, man. M&M's supposed to be M&M's. You don't put peanut butter in the M&M's. And I never dug it. And I thought that the colors was kind of off. I'm like, nah, man. M&M's, they got all the colors. Y'all over here were just, the little fall colors. I'm like, nah, man. Chill on the Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, they made a big thing out of it.
They did.
Reese's Pieces loved it. Reese's Pieces loved
Reese's
it.
Pieces. Oh yeah, Reese's Pieces loves it.
Cause E.T. liked him, whatever, and he came out. He didn't come out, but he saw that little ugly piece of chicken in the woods doing this. He was looking at him, dropped it, and he went over. And you saw his hand go and pick up the little Reese's Pieces. Now it's later on, and the family is having dinner. They're talking about Halloween. We meet the little sister, Gertie, played by young Drew Barrymore, and Mary's going around the table saying, "What you gonna be for Halloween?" And I was like, "Does Gertie really have a say in this? What you gonna be with? You gonna be with our body?"
Well, I will say, Elliot was officially the star.
Yes.
Until
Drew.
This moment.
Yeah.
When Drew Barrymore popped up, it was like, and then he was a little ass anyway because he started doing that stuff with his mama. I'm pretty sure you're gonna talk about.
But I didn't. I really looked at that. Was he being intentionally mean?
Yes. You didn't think so?
I thought he said, "Where's mom?" And it's like he's in Mexico. I thought she seemed like she didn't know.
The older brother jumped down.
Reacted like he was being an a-hole. I didn't know.
Because he was. That's why he wasn't a star. That's why right. After E.T., Elliot as an actor didn't become the star. And Drew Barrymore became a star.
Because he was. You literally said that man's career went off the railroad because of Melissa Matheson's words.
Yeah, man. That's the writers. Who he said wrote that movie?
Melissa Matheson. You blame.
No, who wrote the movie?
Melissa Matheson.
Is she the one? Was she the mom?
I just talked about Melissa. No, not the mom, but a woman. Melissa Matheson was
the one. Oh no, I'm just saying though that yeah, man, Melissa Matheson, it's her fault, man. She made that man look like a jackass by having him do that stuff to his mom. And not to say that she was the best mom on earth, but he making her feel like crap, bruh, and everything, and it's just messed up, man.
It did.
I will say this though. What Drew Barrymore did remind me of was that even though I don't like the movie E.T., I did like that Firestarter. And that is a movie that I would like to come back around to. That Firestarter was rolling. Digression. Firestarter. Stephen King, bruh. Bro, the end of the movie, bruh. When Daddy said burn it down. Daddy said burn it down, baby. Burn it down. She turned around. Fireballs, bro. She just killing everybody, bro.
Don't ruin it for me. I've never seen it, so don't.
You never seen Firestarter?
No. Yeah. That's another one I guess I missed out on.
Yeah, spoiler alert. That was your senior year of high school though, so you was kicking it. You weren't thinking about no movies.
Elliot goes back out to the shed that night, looking for whatever was the noise again. He's gonna sit on the lounge chair and he waits and he falls asleep that night, and he is awakened by E.T., who emerges from the shed. Okay. Elliot takes the Reese's Pieces. Well, E.T. was taking the Reese's Pieces from that was on the lounge chair with him. Elliot gives him some and gets him into the house and then into his room. The next morning,
Act 2. That's me.
Elliot is on this whole I'm sick thing. Uh, she turns her head and he puts the thermometer up next to the light bulb to heat it up, whatever. And she falls for it. There's no way in hell Barbara or Robert Email would let me go home. There's no way. E.T. is gonna be in that house by himself because you going to school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think, man. The only time
your dad is still mad that I didn't get perfect attendance at St. Aug because I missed the day because of a funeral. He's still mad.
Guess what? Mad. Guess who made up for that? I got perfect attendance.
How about that?
I did not have perfect attendance at elementary. I do remember at St. Gabriel, I had the few times that I stayed home from school, it was always stomach problems. Like, I don't know what it was when I was little, bro, but when I would have gas pains, like it would hit me hard. Like stomach, as far as stomach pains, right? But one time I was kind of faking it because I started playing the clarinet for Mr. Lewis at at St. Gabriel. And I started going to band. And first day, bro, Mr. Lewis, bro, hey, we're going to do a reed check. You know, if I see any kind of little chip in your reed, then I'm just going to break it. It's going to be gone. Bro, one day he did a reed check, bro. Bro, he looked at my reed did not have a chip in it, bro. He took my reed, bro. Pew. And I was like, man, so Wednesdays came, I started getting sick. Then they finally figured out. I was like, man, I'll do it. I'll do all kind of things. I'll play baseball. I ain't going to that man. Like, that man right there, bro. Mr. Lewis was evil, bro, with that reed check, bro. He just break your reed, bro. These kids these days, bro, if I couldn't deal with no reed check, these doggone kids bring a doggone pistol back to school talking about a reed check.
I would love to see you telling this story in therapy. Like on it's just like some bitch, Mr. Reed. Just start losing it. God damn him. Elliot is trying to warm up to E.T. at the house. He wants to feed him. E.T. is startled, and he has an umbrella, and that's the first time we see a connection between... Because that thing, I had to go rewind and look back at that. When did this connection become between Elliot and E.T.? When they became one, where you felt where I felt.
Amazingly, E.T. can count.
That's true.
Count backwards. And,
you know what?
And he can put Elliot in a trance.
Here's another thing that... Why is it that... And Americans, I'll say, I guess all Americans, but when he talked to E.T., me, Elliot, why?
That's it,
why
bro.
has it just become ignorant? Me, Elliot, like, my name is... Why don't you just try to speak English just a little bit? Bruh.
So let's analyze the thing. E.T. stands for extraterrestrial. When did Elliot become so intelligent that he just came up with, hey man, you are extraterrestrial. Let's call you E.T.
He was that smart.
He didn't. Most kids at that age just say, oh, he's an alien. What are we going to name him? Let's name him Sammy.
Let's name him Hank. What? Let's name him Fred. What? Let's name him E.T. What the hell is wrong with you, Elliot?
I always thought like what little kid just comes up with what little kid from the 80s just comes up with E.T. as in, extraterrestrial. And they never said do you ever recall them saying extraterrestrial?
They said one time later in the movie.
Not early on, bruh.
Not early on.
But you got some little kids talking about.
Let's name him Claude.
You know, would have been hilarious. Would have been even more hilarious if Drew Barrymore's character named him E.T. Let's call him E.T. You know, for extraterrestrial.
Don't make a damn bit of sense. Look, this made me laugh. I'm not gonna lie. Greg came home, the brother. He's walking up the driveway. I thought it was Halloween because the outfit he had on, he's just walking home in a football uniform. It looked like something from 1943.
Yeah, that football uniform he had on, bro. I was like, bro, you were gonna get killed.
I wanted to say the word skedaddle for some reason. Skedaddle or 23
bruh,
skidoo, dog.
That uniform he had on, bro. He ain't, bro. He getting carried off the field, bro.
He's getting carried off the field. I thought that was a. I said, oh, it's Halloween already. That's his costume. Wait, that's his uniform. First of all, he's walking home. Well, I guess he's not in high school yet. Either way, I was like, that's his uniform?
He was in high school? Oh, yeah.
I don't think so.
He might have not been, yeah.
Elliot tells Greg, he tells him, look, man, you gotta keep this. Come in, I got something to say. You gotta keep this secret. Whatever their little promise that says everything is copacetic. You gotta make the promise. You gotta make them say, all right. And he takes Greg into his room and then he shows it to him and Greg freaks out, but he doesn't say anything. But then Gertie enters.
Oh, yeah.
And she freaks out black people would freak out.
She freaks out. She freaked out, bruh.
And I said, when I watched the movie, I said, now that's how I would have responded. Just like that.
That's acting.
I said, that Drew Barrymore has a goddamn future right there. Because that is what I would have done.
She had a future.
Yes, she did. Yes,
there are a number of movies that she said that I have watched when I was younger. I used to watch Firestarter over and over. And there was this other movie that she had where she divorced her parents. Very interesting movie. It was called Irreconcilable Differences. And I would always, if it came on, it was just an interesting movie to watch, bro. Irreconcilable Differences.
I think I remember. I think I recall it. Mary comes home and Elliot rushes her out.
She got to be the stupidest mom.
It's very sick. The way she's missing things is very sitcom. And she's like, how did you miss this?
You ain't.
How did you miss this ugly thing that moves 2.5 miles an hour? Hey, Mom. And Gertie's like, hey, Mom, do you see what you call it? Baby, what? I'm too busy.
I'm like, you don't pay attention. You don't pay attention to none of your kids. That's why Elliot told you your husband out in Mexico. You like the way I switched back to Elliot's side?
That's wrong, bro. That's so
At first I was against him, then I switched back. You like that?
That's why you deserve that. You a bad mom. Like, bro. He is luring him out with the Reese's Pieces, and he's showing him on the map, I'm here. I'm from California. Where you from? And E.T. is taking fruit and baseballs and throwing them up in there, making it look like this.
Float? What is he making them float?
Like the solar system?
Solar system.
He still never really showed him where he was. He just said, and look at this. Because when he did that, all I could imagine when he did that was Paul Mooney said, I know you from space.
I wonder if Spielberg, he just said, you know what, man, I'm going to take the script for what it's worth and we just going to go ahead and I think I could make something out of this.
We are also very, what's the word? Jaded over the years. It was a different time. I mean, you know, the Triumph album was out by the Jacksons. It's just a different time, you know?
Can You Feel It is one of the best songs made in history.
It was a different time. Music was happy. Very few.
We need to do that. Like the greatest songs in history. I got a couple of songs that I got on the greatest songs of forever, ever made. Like I got Can You Feel It by the Jacksons.
That whole album is great. I don't know if you know that. That whole album is a 10.
Here's a song digression. We're talking about great songs. I know. Here's a song that you would not expect. You might expect to come from me, but might not. Take Me With You is one of the greatest songs ever made. I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill. Prince and the Revolution, Take Me With You specifically is one of the greatest songs ever made. From the music, the uniqueness of the music, the intent about the song. And towards the end of the song, the third verse, there's a point in the song where you wonder, for me at least, I wonder if it sounds like they freestyling. It sounds like she just. It's like they got lyrics, but you can tell
it's a part of one of the greatest albums of all time, no doubt about it. Is that the greatest song?
Greatest.
I don't know.
I know you. I understand that.
Prince got a lot.
I'm talking about specifically that song.
I know what you're saying. They
got that one. Yeah.
I haven't heard that in a while. I have not heard that album in a while, so I have to return to that. Our siblings the next day go to the bus stop and see Thomas.
Might we add the dog didn't like him at first, but now he and the dog are cool.
Who, E.T.?
Yeah. Remember the dog didn't
Harvey?
like him.
Harvey?
I didn't know the dog's name.
I think they all kind of got. It gets to the point where, you like him? I guess I like him too. C. Thomas Howell teases Elliot about, because back then when they went, they never saw anything, and it was a goblin, and they kept teasing about the goblin, and his brother Greg doesn't say anything, even though you could tell he's like, well, he ain't lying, but I really can't say nothing about it. Mary is at home and she's searching a house, and she goes into a room with these stuffed animals. And I can't lie, that made me laugh. E.T. is sitting there like this.
I can see how she'll miss that, because
no doubt about it. No doubt about that. I definitely get, but it just made me laugh the way it looked. Elliot is in school in science class, and they are about to dissect frogs. Like, I've never dissected anything.
Never did that.
Never did that. And I remember Brother Price saying, "There's no way in hell I'd let y'all have frogs." Not Brother Price, Brother George. Like, no way in hell I'd bring frogs. But I didn't know that's how they did it. They gave you a frog in a jar, and then they gave you a chlorophyll-soaked cotton ball, and you drop it in, so it's not a cruel death, but it's gonna die.
I remember, the only thing I remember from biology is we had our teacher, I don't even know why I can't remember the man's name, because he was actually over, but when he came to us as a teacher, he at one point in time, he was actually over Louisiana High School State, like LHSAA, really? Like the referees, I think.
Okay.
Like, he was like over them. Well, I can't remember that man's name. That's a mess.
But here's the thing, too. Elliot is 10 years old, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll never forget, this dude in biology class, he stuck a paper clip in the socket. We're in class, not the teacher or one of my friends. Bro, we're just sitting in class listening. All you hear is, zap, ow! Bro, you look over, bro. Dude's fingertips. We like, it's like, bruh. It was like when we used to put our tongues at the end of the 9-volt battery, except you don't do that with a paperclip in a wall socket.
One, it's not biology, it's stupidity. Two, why do you put your tongue at the end of the 9-volt battery?
Never did that? You never did that?
No.
Oh, man. I urge you to try it.
No, I'm not going to do that.
I didn't want to do anything to you. You get it.
Well, what's the
funny little feeling? That's all.
No, I don't need a funny feeling. I trust you on that. I'm gonna trust you on that.
Gotcha.
I bet that's a funny feeling. How about that? But he is in the at the same time, E.T. is moving around the house and moving in the fridge.
Yeah, man.
He sees the potato salad. He don't like the potato salad, but he sees the Coors beer, and he drinks one.
And because he got drunk,
Elliot got drunk, and Elliot is feeling drunk in class, and he felt like an abolitionist. And he said, "I'm gonna free these frogs."
He sure did. He freed them too. He let them all go, bro.
And he calls everybody else. He said, "Free the frogs." Like, if there's something that entertained me in this movie,
that was entertaining. That part was entertaining.
Like, bruh, he is freeing the frogs. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
And the girl that because I remember that part when he kissed that girl. I can't remember the girl like as an actress what her name is, but when I looked at her, I'm like, damn, you're like, I don't think I realized that she was along with me because Elliot's probably about basically the same age as myself. But I remember the girl that he kissed. I was like, oh, you're that actress. I don't have a name for her, but you know, you got those actresses that
she looked extremely familiar to me, but then she reminded me of a young lady who used to be on that played the daughter on Mad Men. So I was like, that's not her.
Definitely not thinking about her.
But Mary gets home. E.T. is hitting himself, but she gets the call from her and Gertie come home, and that's when E.T. is drunk ass is rolling back, getting out the way to Elliot's room. She gets the call from the school, and she's like, "You must have the wrong Elliot." It's like, if they call you and say, "Elliot such and such,"
that's the right Elliot.
That's your child.
Now, maybe there are a whole lot of Elliots in their town. So. I will say this. One part that was not mentioned was that, first of all, he's all of a sudden reading simple magazines, E.T., and he rose flowers from the dead. So, of course, he is now
I think that I got it. I'm going to give him credit. I think that's just something he had about him.
Space Jesus. He's Space Jesus.
I didn't have that on my bingo card, Space Jesus. I had raw chicken, but I did not have Space Jesus. And I'm going to say it beforehand. When he has issues later, he looked like a big ass nasty beignet.
Oh, he's ugly. That's terrible. Oh, that's terrible. Oh my gosh.
This is not. I'm not feeling sorry or nothing, but she's like, that can't be my kid. Whatever this, that, and the other. She has to go pick. And she says, "Look here, Gertie. I got to go pick up your brother. You can watch yourself, right?" And I want to say no because she's 5.
Right. Now, don't get me wrong. We, of course, we were left home at a very early age, bruh.
8. I think it was Gertie, 8 or 9.
I don't even think. Like, I wonder if I contemplate whether Gertie was even in kindergarten because I don't remember.
I looked it up. The character, they say the character was 6 years old. They say the character was 6 years old.
I never saw that child at a school. That child's supposed to be at school, not running around with her mama. And it's not.
Gertie. She told Gertie, "You can hold it down. You can hold it down."
And back then, kids went to school. Like, it was no, hey, your ass get a certain age, you going to school. Period.
Exactly.
It's amazing that her name was Gertie. Like, who? Melissa was her name? Melissa what?
Melissa, Mahartney?
You know what, man? I'm not going to say anything because you know what? Gertie may be the name of like her.
Yeah, it's probably a family name. It is. Yeah,
I'm not going.
That's how a lot of people's names get in scripts, bro. Trust me. I remember, you put names of people you know. I remember there was a Paul in For Your Love script, and the character.
The only Gertie that we know personally is Gertie from Good Times, who was eating dog food. That's the Gertie that we know.
Two totally different characters. Two totally different characters.
And as a reminder, if you go back when we were doing the season 2 of the Good Times, you will see that episode that we did on the dog food episode.
Yeah, we did. Old Gertie. Elliot returns to find E.T. dressed in a wig and an old hat because Gertie has been playing dolls with his ass, I guess. Elliot has a newspaper, and we hear the first utterance of the infamous phrase, "on home."
How you know that?
My thing is like, you should have been saying this, "Hey man, does somebody have a dime? Hey, somebody help me."
This is why right here. This is why.
Elliot gets the phrase "E.T. phone home." So this picture is it's all right. Written this down. So this, I know I had said already, it's kind of like Home Alone, but this picture is about an alien who got left behind by his parents during the immigration raid. Is that it? Is that what his parents got left behind by his parents during the immigration raid? Because that's what happened. They rolled up.
And Space Jesus.
And Space Jesus was who they left. Space Jesus
of all the aliens to leave behind, you left behind Space Jesus.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody called him E.T. too.
Everybody. We also did get a glance at some of the government driving around the neighborhood, scanning people and listening devices or whatever.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Back to his mom picking him up from school. I remember when she picked him up from school, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, that's interesting that mom just kind of picked up Elliot from school because he was drunk. Like, I'm surprised that CPS was not there waiting, either at home or at the school, to have a discussion with him.
For Elliot.
For the mom. Okay. I mean, hey, man, all I got to say is, gotta love the 80s.
Greg,
pick up your drunk third grader or fourth grader from school and just bring them on home, man. Let them sleep it off. Hey, you know what? That's what James said. James Evans. Remember when Michael drank that Vita Break? 18% alcohol. That Vita booze, and what happened? James said, "Come on, baby. You just gotta sleep it off. That's the best we can do."
That's the best you can do. Greg and Elliot are in the garage and they're searching for stuff. Greg notices that E.T. don't look too hot, and they find their dad's stuff and they kind of reminisce. Mary is reading the bedtime story to Gertie.
Did they go out yet for Halloween?
No.
Oh, okay.
Elliot cuts his hand and E.T. drops the finger with we see the light bulb, and E.T. takes the light bulb finger and heals Elliot. E.T. is also putting together a communication contraption with the see and speak. There's just a lot going on.
I used to like that see and speak. Now jump. See and speak rolling. See and speak rolling. I don't remember it being called see and speak. I feel like it was called something else, like spelling.
No, it was see. They may have been different. What they said, that was a see and speak.
It was a see and speak. I mean, it said it on it. I know it. But for some reason, I remember it being called something else, I thought. But, you know. I tell you this. Yes. Quiet is kept. Drew, or Gertie, she's the one who actually taught him to read after hearing the letter B, I might add.
I think he knew. I really do.
Hey, man.
What do you think, Boo? Being that we're speaking of B, what do you think?
He looks ridiculous with that hat on, bro.
Don't he look like a Shriner? Like one of them Shriners who be riding in the parades?
You see them often in the Mardi Gras parades, man.
The Blacklog is sponsored by Fade to Black Funeral Homes. Death is a part of life, so put life into your loved one's death at Fade to Black Funeral Homes with tattoo artists and print and t-shirt printing on site to commemorate your loved one fade to black. It's Halloween night. Mary must be drunk to not notice that this big head child is not Mary.
It's not Gertie?
It's not Gertie. This big head child is not
Gertie. In fact, I
Gertie.
wrote right here, it says, Mom is just stupid. That's exactly what I wrote.
I think she's concerned because she got this.
Just so to prove to you. Oh, you can't see it. It says it though. It says Mom is just stupid.
I think she's getting ready for a date because she got a little cat suit on. I was like, does she have somebody coming over while the kids are out? Because I could not believe. I just could not believe that. You can't tell. Wait. And Gertie's in the house hiding. You don't see this. Gertie doesn't want to.
So Gertie got to miss out on Halloween.
Exactly.
That's messed up, man.
Oh my God.
Why didn't you just leave E.T. back there?
That's what I say.
He obviously could stay at home. And it wasn't a problem when they were at school.
For real. And the thing is, Mary took a picture of them. Mary took a picture of them, literally. You did not know it. You didn't say Gertie one point in time. Gertie, I have issues with you. I have a problem with you, Mary, as a mother. I must say, there was a shot that they had where they went over the horizon. Oh, a sunrise shot. It was sweet as hell. David DeVoe is the DP. I was like,
I do remember. I know what you're talking about.
It was just perfect for trick or treating. Elliot, at this point, puts E.T. in the basket and he drives him into the woods. And to work on whatever this communication thing it is. And
do more of the hot wiring, more of the speaking spell?
Yes, and this is the first time we see, E.T. just makes them fly. And he flies in front of the moon. And I finally see this image that I've seen for years.
Oh. Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's what it's from.
Wow, you didn't realize that much.
What?
I guess on the poster.
I never paid attention. I didn't. It's just an ugly thing.
Wow.
It's an ugly thing.
But damn.
I knew the image. I just did. Well, I've never seen the movie. All I'm saying is I knew the image, but I just had never seen it in action. That's all. That's all. I've seen the image. I just had never seen it in action. Again, Mary's at home in her leopard suit, waiting on her sneaky link, I guess. Doesn't come true. She looks sad. She blows out candles. Elliot and E-Love are in the woods. I call him E-Love. E.T. I don't know why I wrote that.
I'm going to tell you what's interesting is that he can fly, but he figured out English like just someone who came from
another country,
another country, and just kind of figured out English by listening to people talk. Like he came from the DR, and he was like, no English, and then next thing you know, he just kind of figured it out by looking at a little bit of TV.
And bring implants. You can fly and bring plants back to live. It's kind of weird. They're out there. They're working with a fork and a circular saw and a speaking spell, and they're working on this contraption.
And they out there trapped in the woods and fall asleep.
Looking like death warmed over.
Yeah.
Looking like death. Mary has called the police.
And I wrote here, too, E.T. was so gross looking. Like, you thought it was bad before. Like, oh, my God. Oh, I was like, okay, watch this.
Elliot, the police find him, but they know he's not there. Greg's like, where's E.T.? You got to find Elliot tells Greg, you got to find him. He breaks out in the bike with the crate so he can get in the basket. And suddenly he gets chased by a mysterious Ford Futura. A government car, I guess. Greg finally reveals E.T. to Mary. Again, he is powder white and he looks like he's like one of those beignets, like not fully cooked.
Don't ruin my my thoughts towards beignets.
Beignets, come on, man. Well, Mary freaks the hell out. I won't say that anymore. Mary freaks the hell out, and suddenly there's a knock at the door, and a man in a NASA Apollo 12 outfit appears.
Yes. So here's where some more of my problems come in. So maybe the U.S. just a little bit was just a bit behind the 8 ball, because they only had NASA spacesuits that they use when they go up into space to be able to handle E.T.
But then a couple more later on had hazmat suits. It's weird. They had hazmat.
It's like they said, hey, you heard they got an alien. Hey, man, we need something to put on. I ain't touching that thing. Hey, just put on Neil Armstrong's spacesuit. It'll work.
But the crazy part about it, you come at the front door, then you got one coming at the window, like walking like sleeve stacks.
Yeah.
I'd rather you come to the door without the hazmat with the like G-men and got you. Hey, look here.
But it wasn't even hazmat, bruh. It was straight up spacesuits. And then later on, they go from wearing spacesuits to these dudes wearing like COVID masks. I'm like, bruh, how you go from having your whole body covered from head to toe to, hey man, just put on some rubber gloves and put on a little COVID mask, bruh.
The house is just overtaken by the government. You got plastic tunnels.
Yeah, tunnels. That was wild.
In and out of the house, everyone is asking dumb questions. You got half-dead Elliot laying on one board. They have got a level 1 trauma unit set up in this house now. On the other one, you got E.T.
This little boy, they asking this little boy about E.T. He has pneumonia. Can you please take care of him?
And Elliot explaining to the dude from NASA, what is, Elliot, I'm just glad you met him first. Now you gonna take away, and y'all gonna take him away and dissect him. That's what the hell y'all gonna do. I'm just glad that.
I'm gonna tell you what I did, people.
He was flying. He's telling that bullshit to. He was telling that bullshit to Elliot.
Oh yeah. You know what I did, peep out? One of those doctors mentioned, they said, something about his DNA. Somebody said something about DNA. I don't remember who it was, but what got to me was that they mentioned DNA. This was 82 or 83. And if I remember correctly, in the United States Court of Law, in the 90s, all of a sudden, DNA was this new thing that they were finding to check. And then all these black men suddenly got off and got let out of jail. Oh, so you're telling me that you knew about DNA back in the days, but you was holding out.
It was for aliens.
Oh, okay.
It was for aliens. You want your DNA for aliens. Everyone is at.
Bro, this was 83, bro. They talking about DNA, and these dudes in the 90s in jail because somebody said they murdered somebody. Like, bro, I didn't murder anybody. Then they said, oh, that's not your DNA. Oh, I guess we gotta let you out. Sorry for the last 15 years.
I know it got to the point where Elliot is being dramatic. Stay! And he's getting better, right? And then the doctors are working on E.T., and he straight dies. And they call it time of death. Like they literally call it. And when they do it, they're about to bounce. They all just throw the shit aside like, well, we done it. We leaving here. I would love to see that happen in Robert E. Mills' house. I know y'all better clean all this shit up.
Yes.
I know you. Yes. Because they start leaving. Like, hold on.
They just like, oh, man, well, he dead, so they roll out. It ain't something that they were trying to get pints of blood for E.T. How do you know it accepts blood? Y'all human beings think that everything applies to you.
It was a moment when he was dying. I found a part where Gertie was being held by Mary, and Gertie was like, will he die, Ma? And she says, is he dying? And she's like, yes. And I just felt I wanted to see her. Not wanted to see her, but I felt like she was going to do.
That's another thing, though.
Like she's comforting Gertie. Thing out of my house.
Hey, that's another thing about the '80s, bro. We or Gen X in general, bro. They just tell us straight up, bro. I mean, it is true when people you see the video and people talk about it all the time, bro. I was in the 6th grade, sitting there with my class with Miss Cook, and they rolled that TV into the classroom, and we got to see. I can't even remember the teacher's name. It was Christina, whatever the teacher's name, and then they had who was my frat brother, McNair, and next thing you know, we just watched, bruh, and it just exploded.
But nobody knew.
We all just kind of looked at each other like,
that was the whole thing with that. Everybody kept saying, I don't think that was supposed to happen. I don't know.
That's exactly how everybody was. And I remember Miss Cook. I don't remember a whole lot about my teacher, Miss Cook, and what she did. But I remember I remember her kind of going like this, and I'm thinking that in her head she was thinking, I cannot show them how I am truly feeling right now because I don't know if that's what I really just saw because it just exploded, bro.
I know I know
like you were in college, like you wouldn't even been watching this. You would probably walk into class.
No, when was this?
That was 86, I believe. You were definitely in your freshman year. Oh, you were definitely at Howard because I was in 6th grade.
I remember seeing it. I don't know. I remember seeing it.
You saw it live? Oh, maybe you did. I don't know.
I remember seeing it and saying, that's weird.
I mean, you might have. I mean, people remember where they were. I remember where I was I was in the Punch-Out at Howard when they announced the OJ verdict.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Man. That was uncomfortable.
Hey.
Where I was.
Well, I'll just say this: where I was, there was no discomfort.
I know.
Everybody walk back to class.
I was in mixed company. I remember this dude. He was this receptionist. I just remember saying, "Oh my!" He kept doing this. "Oh my God!" Oh, that's what he kept saying. "Oh my God!" And I was like, "I don't think you should be celebrating this right."
That's you. That's you. I can picture that's you right there.
Oh God. So yeah, but then
he is dead supposedly. Act 3.
He's dead, but then he comes back to life. Oh my God!
And then, Space Jesus raised the flowers, bro. He raised the flowers, bro.
He's alive.
Gertie know how to keep a secret, man.
He calls the gang. He says, "Get the bikes. Meet me here." He gets Greg to steal a van, and he puts E.T. because E.T.'s in the back.
They got Soul Man / Pony Boy to help him out in the boys, bro.
And he says, "I only know how to back the car up. Drive forward." They finally meet them at the spot. And they get on the bike.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
They get on the bike
by the cops, yeah,
and they get chased by the cops through this neighborhood, and this is a crazy chase. And at one point in time, E.T. he uses all his powers and he lifts everybody. Everybody got flying bikes.
So that's what I wanted to get to there. They went far.
They did.
There ain't no way in the world that who met him there. There was a
I gotta say this with flying bikes. I'd have to ask, hey E, can we keep this like about 5 feet above the ground? Cause this that shit is not for me.
And I ain't gonna lie, they were riding bikes too, like back in the day, like that 80s, bro. They was hitting those wheelies and jumping over stuff. That was that 80s right there.
Yeah, but you weren't flying 100 feet in there.
No, you're not.
You weren't flying 100 feet. There.
But he took them so far away from their home, bro. Like I don't know. I was looking at them like, how in the world are y'all getting back home? If this dude's about to roll out on the spaceship, how y'all get back home? Cause y'all sure as hell can't fly back.
Hey, they get him to the spot, bruh, and it seems as though his family's like, oh, we sorry, we forgot your ass here. We bounced.
Yeah.
We're so sorry. Nee. I was like,
I'd have had to ask like, hey, can you at least get us,
back? Could you drop us off at
home? The problem is though is that if they're flying them back home and then all of a sudden the government show up, they're gonna be like, and then they're just gonna drop out the sky and die.
I mean, that would have been a great ending for that movie. I guess it would have. Yes,
if they were flying them back and then all of a sudden there they go, mankind again, trying to catch him, and they catch up to him,
with
and
rifles.
They're like, oh.
They're mowed down. A
space
alien and his human friends were mowed down today in a tragic.
And we get our first ever post credit scene.
What, the funeral? The funeral of all six?
They just they zoom all the way out into space, and what was that? What movie was that, man? Where I think it was Star Wars, where I think it was Star Wars where was it Obi-Wan when the planet? Remember when they killed when they blew up they blew up Princess Leia's planet, man.
It's rough.
They were like,
I feel a tremor in the fall.
You're far too trusting.
You're far too trusting.
But remember when he blew up the planet, Ben Kenobi was like, oh, it's like
I felt
1,000 deaths, like deaths everywhere.
That's a hell of a feeling right there.
If they do that, go all the way up in space, and you show like the King E.T., and he says something that translates, it's like 1,000 deaths. We'll get them back someday.
It's no something. You're not bringing these kids back to life. They were killed.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, okay.
I'm talking about getting their lick back. They're gonna get their lick back.
Bro. All I can say is
E.T.
got back. He got back home. He got back home, and I still stand by what I said years ago.
Yeah.
Why did you take this thing in your house? Why did you not call, trash, or just the police, or the dog catcher, or somebody to get this thing out the neighborhood?
And remember, actually, the dog ran up for a second to the spaceship. I think the dog ran up to.
He did.
Until he realized, whoa.
I'm gonna be stuck with these. I can't be stuck with these the rest of my life. My bad. Sorry. Wrong place. I just got caught up. I got caught up. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but overall, man, the movie sucked, man. It still sucked. It was a little better than it was when I saw it.
It was a put together film, but just the theme of it for me,
it was better than it was when I saw it when I was younger.
I am a Spielberg fan.
Well, I like Spielberg, but
this movie,
that's not But me saying that it's better than it was when I saw it when I was younger, that ain't saying much.
No.
Because it was summertime and we were playing street football. I could have stayed on.
I could have stayed on.
Let me tell you something. If I would have never seen E.T., wouldn't have bothered me in a minute. Wouldn't have bothered me as.
Anytime someone asks me, you never seen E.T.?
When I think about it, I don't even recall anybody in my neighborhood even talking about E.T.
Nope. No.
Nope.
You go, E.T., why? What? No. Nah.
I wonder what we should name this episode. You know what we should think about? We should contemplate the title, The Blacklog Hates E.T. ... Fight me.
You know, hate is such a strong word. I just think I didn't get it. I never got that theme. I
mean, you get it. It's a alien, and he's supposed to be cute, but he's not. He's ugly. If he was Alf, and it'd be like, oh man, it's Alf.
It's kind of like I told someone the other day. I was talking to him about this new Avengers.
At least Alf had jokes.
It's like it's like for me, the premise of the movie falls because of the way he looks. I was talking to somebody about Avengers Doomsday the other day, and I said, I believe the moment Robert Downey Jr. speaks as Doom, that is going to determine the fate of that film. I think that determines the premise. I think that determines the success. It's going to make money, but it's going to determine the response to it. You cannot tell me that you weren't. I don't know. Maybe you can.
I think they're going to have to use his voice anyway. Probably. I don't know this to be sure. I'm just guessing. Just to at least have people be like, "Whoa, Starks." And he's like, "No, this is not Stark."
He's gonna probably use an accent.
But at some point in time, he's gonna probably put on a mask, and it's gonna be like Darth Vader, baby. We just out here killing people. Why?
I'm gonna tell you, when I saw that thing at wait, it starts next week too, next Friday. Comic-Con, when they did that thing at Comic-Con, and they had them Dooms out there, and he walked out there, he pulled off that mask. I have never been so disappointed in my life. I was like, you are kidding me.
You know who I wanted to be Doom was your boy who plays the Scarecrow in the Batman Begins. Played the Scarecrow, I think.
Really?
Remember him?
No.
The guy who plays Scarecrow in Batman Begins. You don't remember him? If you see him, you'll know.
No, you got me on that. You talking about a voice actor? But I've never.
He was the Scarecrow in Batman Begins.
In Batman Begins. You know what? I'm thinking about Batman Beyond. I swear to God, I was thinking about Batman.
Yeah. I'm talking about the movie.
You're talking about Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, him.
Cillian Murphy, who was
because he was
He was in Oppenheimer.
That was good too. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I thought. Well, at one point they were talking about Giancarlo Esposito.
He would have been a very good Doom. Now when you see him or who's the other? There's another guy. It's like when you see him in a show or a movie, you're like, "Oh Lord, this is gonna be bad news."
There's a dude. Yeah, if you see him, it's bad news.
You know who else? Bokeem Woodbine has become that person too. He has become the person that when you see him as playing a role in the show, you're like, oh. Ever since his role in what was that TV show he did with that Chris Rock was in too?
He's on Fargo.
Fargo, yes. Yes.
I thought you was talking about him for Doom. I was like, look, I like Bokeem, I ain't talking for Doom. I'm gonna tell you, there's a dude, and his name is Mads Mikkelsen. I don't know. Do you remember the movie Rogue One?
Yeah.
He was the father of the girl.
I don't remember that one.
And then Galen Erso. That dude right there, let me tell you something. he would have been a gold because he looks like Doom without his face looks like the mask. He looks like Doom.
Wow. I remember specifically from when I think of Rogue One, I always think of the dude who was in the Dark Knight Rises, where he said, where your boy Bane said, "Do you think you're in charge?"
Oh, you talking about Ben Mendelsohn? Yeah, that dude.
Do you think you're in charge?
I think he might have been able to. I wouldn't put it past him. My thing it's just like when you felt that you had needed to go to Robert Downey Jr. It felt like a cheap trick. Like, hey, look who we brought back. Like I say, I don't know. I might be wrong. I feel like I'm still gonna enjoy Doomsday.
I also don't know. Like, I stopped reading comic books basically, kind of. I mean, I still start. I read them off and on, but I stopped reading them hardcore when I pretty much got to high school. So, like, Katrina took everything, bro. Like I had the 6-part with when Spider-Man was buried underground. I had the original Death in the Families with Batman. Like, I
don't want to tell you how much. I don't want to tell you how much
those.
that's worth. I won't tell you.
Nah. I had. You know, X-Men is a big. Obviously, X-Men, the X-Men '97. I had the comic books where Apocalypse came into play, bruh. Because I had this comic book. They had Angel on the front, and it looked like the Ghostbusters, and they had a big circle. It looked like a Ghostbuster, like the Ghostbuster symbol, except it was Angel. And then later on, you thought Angel was dead because he blew up in a helicopter. Then next thing you know, you find out, oh, he didn't change this dude to one of his horsemen. And all of the X-Men were like, Warrington? Like, seriously? He's like, hey, man, I'm here. Wow. That was a good one.
I've enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy the movie.
They're not.
So from myself, Boobo, and Kirby.
Kirby didn't like it either.
He kept walking away. Every time I tried to say, where you going? I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch this. And he said, I like Spielberg, but not this. That's what Kirby told me.
Okay.
So until next week, this is us from the Blacklog saying, peace.